All right, good morning. For me, it's good morning. 6 a.m. when I'm recording this. It's been a minute since I actually recorded something. It's mostly been like the solos that I've just like ripped from stream. So, it is time for the tier list updates. We have all the servants that either received a buff or came out later in the month, Kashin Koji specifically. And then I have one other adjustment I want to make based on, or maybe not an adjustment, but talk about at least. I might adjust her. I'm still thinking about her. Still thinking about it. We are going to start with the archers just because this is easier. And I already had it open. So, we are starting off with, I believe, Nobu is the only archer. Yeah. So, Nobu received a very good buff, turning the 30% MP gain into 20% buster, 20% MP damage. Lasts for 3 turns. This is all the buffs you got, but if you look at this damage chart, oh, sorry. I forgot my headphones were in. I was doing lotto stuff and playing Star Rail. My bad. I'm actually starting to forget that I have them in, so that should be a good sign. Right. This icon also changed, so it took me a second. Okay. So this is Nobu's damage now at MP1, and I'm bringing up MP1 for a reason. Before, their damage, Nobu's damage was like 9,000 at MP1. It was really, really, really bad. Now it is passable with 3 stars, which that's a low bar. But Osaka Behime is here, and Nobu's also MP5, so most people's damage is gonna be here. Like, give it some time. And then Nobu has niches that she can hit pretty fucking hard. And then we have this new CE that literally gives Nobu a riding not super effective power mod. So Nobu would have a riding super effective, riding power mod, and divine power mod, along with the buster and MP damage. And like I'm saying like I'm bringing up the CE for a reason. If they ever give Nobu a 30% battery, Nobu is gonna be like farming like fairly good, because like a lot of sabers have the riding trait. It's not like Britomart, how like most archers don't have it. Most sabers do. So Nobu, if allowed to buster farm, is going to be hitting like Gilgamesh damage at MP3. And granted, that is if both these traits land. If it's divine, you reach basically MP1 damage for Gilgamesh, which that's still not a low bar. That is still not a low bar. This is single target damage. This is matching like the highest single target archer in the game. And Nobu's doing it just off divine. And divine is also extremely common. I can't leave Nobu in the same tier as Osaka Behime. I can't. I'm also tempted to move Atalanta up too, but I do think Ilya is better. Yeah, like as you can see, there's like an order going on here with the AoEs, and I think Ilya is better than Atalanta. I don't know why I'm going back. Nobu now has support utility, even if it's not that much. That is still 20% buster, 20% FP damage. I brought it up in the video. For esports, this is more damage than like some other servants would give, such as like I'm blanking right now. Bedivere, Hector, Like servants like that have bounties that also give stats. Nobu also buffs crit damage if you want to use her for esports like that. I don't think she's in the same tier as Osaka Behemoth now. I think she can go. Yeah, actually no. No, because I'm not putting her in the same tier as Napoleon, and yeah, no. If anything, I'd move Osaka Behemoth down. Yeah, I'd be more likely to move Osaka Behemoth down than up. In fact, that's what I'm gonna do. So weird. That is so weird. I came in here reviewing Nobu, and Osaka Behemoth is the one that gets knocked down, Peg. Oh, I'm sorry, Batty. Alright. May. What's this R? What's R? Oh. And I'll rename this later. All right, so we are done with archers, and as we get through this, we're gonna see like which ones are showing. Shit. All right. No, that doesn't spoil anything. Nah, but if you read at the top, it does. Okay. Lancers. I believe it's Altera and yeah, it's just Altera. So Altera got her charisma buff. Thank fucking god. That is what I've said is one of the bigger pain points with her. Does not change the fact that she still only has a 20% battery, because her double stacking this would be amazing. Her double stacking this and doing buster farming would be awesome. Put a 10% battery on this, please. Thank you. Then she could buster farm. I see them doing that because they're not buffing this again. So goes from 12% attack, which literally you can triple, and Gilgamesh still out buff this. Like tripling this value, you need to go even further. You'd have to go for 3.5 times to match Gilgamesh double stacking his. Now it is 20%, so it's only 2% different from Gilgamesh's highest point, which good. And you would double stack lawful good and lawful and good power mods. Both of them they would be at 60%. If she could buster farm, she would be awesome. And she technically can, but here's a caveat. You have to not kill one enemy. You have to plan for failure. I hate that. I hate the idea you have to plan that you're not going to kill, because then you're like completely reliant on RNG to get you over the hill. If you don't get cards, you're screwed. You're not looping. Does this matter in a boss fight that much? No, because like what she'd miss, she gets hit once and then she gets what gauge she was missing. She hits a buster card against a break bar and she gets what she's missing. Is she more usable now? Absolutely. Oh my god. Where did I have her? Here? Yeah, no, this shit's on her buff. Like, cause she got like anti-demonic. Can I move her up a tier though? I want to say yes because Karna is here and Karna can't. do much. He has the same, yeah, he would have the same problem. And now let's look here for answers. If their damage is close, I'm putting them in the same tier. Oh, they're almost identical. Okay. Yeah, chat. I don't think about this stuff before I actually do this kind of stuff. Yes, Lolter, you can go in the same tier as Karna. Whether this shows how good Lolter got or how needing a buff Karna is, goes to show. That stands. We can debate that later. Yeah. Sorry. I had to check something. So I'm locking this in. And Melson stays at the top. Berserker's next. Yeah, get Berserker's done. Okay, so the only Berserker that got buffed was Nightingale. They buffed her third skill. I constantly ripped on it, saying like Chen Gong technically brought a little more, not little, brought more value for a buff because it gave like it roided the shit out of Berserker. It really made them go Super Saiyan for that turn. Especially for like Juna, like his Buster crits would have hit phenomenal. What did they do? They increased the Buster crit damage for Buster cards by 30% for 3 turns, and you get 20 stars. I think this is way better than Chen Gong's skill now. It's like less crit damage, but both the effects last for 3 turns now. Yeah, both the effects last for 3 turns. You get stars, which Chen Gong definitely doesn't give anywhere in his kit, and it is not like beholden to just Berserkers. That's me comparing it to Chen Gong's skill though. Now we have to go to Vitch and Merlin. If you compare, in comparison to Vitch, it's a slight-ish, it's a side grade. Yeah, it's a side grade. It's the Buster performance is the same. Crit damage is less. And it's still to Buster cards. I believe Vitch is only Buster cards. But not the stars. That's another of Vitch's skills. So it's like it's merging 2 of Vitch's skills. Which like have made her infamous besides the loading, like what she actually gives to your DPS. What her as a buffer does besides just reducing cooldowns. I think this is definitely a step in the right direction for Nightingale. And it would be amazing if this became targeted. I truly think Nightingale will like definitely start being shown more in the meta, more for esports than anything if this got targeted, because that's another power mod, and humanoid is almost every servant in the game. Vitch doesn't do that. She gives man attribute, which is a completely different thing. He also gives defense against humanoid. If you could target this, like Nightingale would like be so much better in esports. Because this skill is useless if you want her to die. Why would you pop this? Why would you pop this if you want you want Nightingale to die and she's not like, you can't do esports with this unit besides the fact that she'd be at least 80. I mean at least 70. You know, probably strengthening 2, she's gonna need to be at least 80, unless you have an actual esports one. In which case, why? So, am I moving Nightingale up? Absolutely. This is such a better buff. It makes her Buster buff like not complete dog shit in comparison to Merlin and Vitch, because it's not that it was bad before. It's just that her literal competition for the only other servants. Sorry, I'm rambling. The only other servants that gave this type of buff also gave something else. It was never just the card buff. The only other servant I know that only technically only gives a card buff is like Tamamo, but that's also a heal. So I don't think that's fair. Nightingale is at least going up to C tier. Give it a little more time, I might adjust her more, but she's definitely not D tier. Cat is here, and Cat's probably gonna stay here. Am I gonna? Yeah, I'm good with blocking this. She only goes up half a tier. I mean a tier, but that's still something. All right, now we have the Sabers. I'm gonna save Clash and Koji for last, but we have 3 servants here. We're gonna start with my favorite though, out of the 3, obviously, Mordred. Full disclosure, Mordred is one of my favorite Sabers. Like, I think she is better than Artoria as a character. This isn't gameplay. I'm saying I think she's more interesting to me as a character. And I have her MP3 on NA. I have used the shit out of Mordred in the past. She is on vacation, trying to connect to their father. One of them. They get confused a lot. Her buff was taking her mana burst, making it 3 times 3 turns so she could actually double stack it, increased her crit damage by 30%, which also could be double stacked, and then gave it an attack buff that she didn't have, that again can also be double stacked. This took her farming damage from... Yeah, her farming damage used to be 18,000, or not 18,000, 180,000 with, I believe, this Black Railsea, or it was Bunyan. It was one of those two. It was not good. I think it was the Bunyan CE. Yeah, okay, yeah. Her Black Rail damage was like 240,000. Her Bunyan damage was like 180,000. She was getting beat out by Sumanai. Now she is beating out Artoria when they're both using the overcharged Black Rail CE. That is awesome. That is such a good buff. Here's the thing, though. Okay, wait, actually... Fuck. So... my initial instinct for this buff right now And this is fucking blasphemy because like Ibuki is also like one of my favorites. I am like genuine considering swapping, but at the same time I'm like no. Can't do that. I was genuinely considering swapping these two, but no. Ibuki 50% battery. Buster buff isn't hit based while she has a triple buster deck, so she's like guaranteed to always have buster up on her cards. Good passives, like better than Mordred's. I can't. Ibuki is like just such a built character and hasn't received any buffs, so any buffs will like literally help her out a bunch. But is it? I would be more likely putting Mordred in EX, like, because Altera isn't in there. If I actually put Altera in EX, I would have like bumped her down now and swapped the two. But no, I put her in A. Like, this is such a huge upgrade. This is such a huge upgrade for damage. Going from a buster buff you can't double stack to getting a buster buff you can stack along with an attack buff you can double stack along with extra crit damage. Like, her kit is just like dirty, nasty buster crit damage, but she doesn't have a triple buster deck. Now I'm starting to regret that she doesn't have a triple buster. Like Ibuki. Yeah, like she has so much buster crit synergy now. I really wish Mordred had triple buster. Damn. Yeah, like I'm genuinely not trying to pad this out. But this is hard. Like, this is actually hard whether I want to move Mordred or not. I don't want this to seem biased. Like, I don't want to set the precedent that every time a servant gets buffed, they're gonna go up a tier. You know what? Actually, I'm moving Mordred up a tier. Because Mordred can double stack literally the same way as Ibuki. They're essentially double stacking the same kind of stuff. Mordred just has more she has higher. No, I can't even say she has higher potency because they're both higher potency buffs are hit based. No, the fact that I'm even thinking about this is why Mordred's gonna go to EX. Move the father. Yeah. There, Mordred. You can be next to your father. Yeah, she outdamages Artoria. Let me preface that, can outdamage Artoria. Works very well in Oberon system. Can do dirty, nasty crits like Ibuki. If not a little better. She has like she has more buster crit than Ibuki now. Not consistently. It's hit based, but she does for her buster crits. They do hit a little harder than Ibuki. I truly think like Mordred just barely gets into EX. Like, yeah. If I had EX minus, Mordred would be in it, but I don't. This is just regular tiers. So yeah, I'll bump up Mordred. Next, Umu. We're gonna move on a lot faster now, chat. Her Imperial Privilege got buffed. Did they fix Imperial Privilege? Fuck no. But they actually made it have more than just a heal most of the time. Arts buff up 30% base. Or not 30% base. 30% at max rank, and then 10 stars per turn at base for 3 turns. So she has a full-on mana burst if you are on Waterside or City, and like Waterside is literally you see water in your background and you get the buff. City, less common. City is honestly not as common. It depends on the node a lot more, but like Waterside, you see it more often than you think. It is not just be by the ocean. Do I think this makes Umu function much better? Yes. Where do I have Umu? Oh yeah, no. Umu, I would definitely move up. I'm definitely moving you up. You don't have like super high crit synergy, but this on a heal, like this as the skill, is something. And then you get these as a bonus. If you get them, you get them. If you don't, you don't. Helps out her damage a lot. 30% from her own kit is not nothing. When we go to AoEs, Umu, not hitting the hardest, but still like harder than like other servants. She still hits harder than Tomoe Gozen, but Tomoe Gozen, this is also a 1-turn buff. 1 turn, so Tomoe's MP damage is actually lower. This is not counting the 20%. This is counting the 20%. So it's not, her damage isn't gonna shoot down to like 8 or 9,000. It's not gonna drop below 10k, but it's not gonna be that much higher. I mean, that much, like, it's gonna be like around 11, 12k. Ooh, and this wasn't even counting Imperial Privilege, right? I forgot they had all this stuff. Yeah, and if you take her MP1 damage with literally giving her the best conditions, that looks respectable. That out damages Muramasa easily. It out damages most of these other servants. But that's getting both of these to land. Extremely conditional, and this is definitely not guaranteed. I can move her up to C. I think she functions way better now. But yeah. Close out Nero. I think she's good moving up a tier. Brave Liz. Yeah, I'm not moving her up a tier. I don't give a shit. This was barely a buff. This was barely a buff. Granted, this is a high burn stack. This turns a 500 burn into 1500. Why the fuck did they not buff her burn? Why? Like, what actually was going through your head that you thought that like she did not need a buff to her burn, but you give her an amp? This is her only burn. Why? No. I refuse to move her up. I refuse. Yes, she can hit very, very hard. Have you seen the gotcha in her 3rd skill though? Where are you? Yeah. The attack up or the 50%. Oh yeah, that's MP1. Yeah, that hits very, very hard. Oh, this is the wrong one. Oh, right. I already said I was like done. Yeah, if you look at her 3rd skill, the gotcha skill, you have a 20% chance of hitting one of these two. Really depends. 20% each. So 3 out of 5 times, it's not going to do much. Yes, this is very high single target damage. Guaranteed. Almost out damages Musashi before her niche. Out damages most other. That is 1 turn. That is one turn you're not even guaranteed. Because I believe she also has a mana burst. Yes, that is also a mana burst. No, she's not going up a tier. I absolutely refuse it. I can't. I hate. This is one of the worst characters. Why the fuck would you want Gotcha in your like actual skill gameplay? I know QQ and Honkai is like pretty good and known for it, but that's like good damage. This doesn't hit that. She gets it for one turn and then she's gonna be a potato afterwards. Okay, what's this? So we are going to do casters now before we talk about Kashin Koji. So first one we're talking about is Halloween Liz. This buff could have been awesome. It could have been hilariously good and would have given Q-Caster actual competition as like one of the best free-to-play like buster farming casters in the game. It makes it less reliant on you either summoning friend points or waiting for one of Q-Caster's banners. They took Innocent Monster, which is 12 stars for 3 turns, 2k HP, and they made it 20 stars, 3k HP, so they buffed everything about the skill before, almost doubled the value of it. You remove one latest buff from enemies, you reduce their crit attack chance, and then you get a 20% battery based on how many people have the debuff. She could have been Black Rail looping. She could have been a Black Rail looper, like with Oberon, if they just made it so that wasn't a thing where they had to have the Happy Halloween, because they have to have a debuff. They have to have a buff first for you to remove, for them to get for her to get the battery. It is like, this is a meme skill. It's a meme. It's good utility, but that doesn't do anything for her kit. You had the best potential to make this another good Elizabeth character. There was potential, and it was squandered because they feared like giving out a 4-star Black Rail farmer for free at MP5. I truly think that's the only reason this buff was as restrictive. Would it be broken if they didn't nerf it? Oh, 100%. This would be one of the strongest skills, especially on a 5-turn cooldown, which is the main reason they weren't going to like make it free. They just weren't. Q-Caster is like, the reason Q-Caster is good at buster farming is because he's literally killing himself. It is literally Lancer Gashinda over and over and over again. Liz is not like becoming in danger like that. She doesn't get payoff like that. And like the best use case for this is unironically using her with Kiyohime. Because Kiyohime, when you debuff the enemy with the defense down, you give them an attack buff. So Liz can rip that off. That is way too much of a niche case and a meme case for me to like justify like moving her on the tier list. So Liz is staying here at C, which I still think is kind of generous for her. I truly think it's kind of generous. Now, the actual reason, like, I'm thinking it's Martha. It's Martha. I'm considering like moving her to EX based solely on her lottery performance. What am I talking about? And this wasn't even just one node. This was 2 90+ nodes. If you used Santa Martha, you were able to do 6 CE setups while like without needing Ober. Well, yeah, you wouldn't use Oberon. So you'd be like plug suiting in a Martha to give her MP buff just to like help you do damage. And this is so fucking much. The demon, divine, undead. The granted, not many servants at all have this, but this does come up sometimes. Demon, definitely not common, but it does come up in lotteries. Demon is not uncommon. It's mostly because of this. You see this a lot. Divine. Look how many servants there are in the game. And how often do you see servants in lottos? A lot. Usually the last wave. Multiple waves if you're doing 90++. Who do we see? Nidocris? Ozymandias. Oh, the farming node we have a week for. Like, I'm not truly moving up Martha. I'm not, because this is too conditional. You have to know what you're fighting before you go there, and you have to be paying attention. You have to know what servants are divine. This is not a servant that like people would say, oh, I'm like, this is not a servant that people would be able to just like bring into any farming situation and just like use her all the time. You could do that, but it's not wise. Why? Like, if you don't need the power mod, why would you use her? I really, if I was to put her in the actual tier list ranking instead of extremely niche, I think I would put her in EX for how much easier it is to do lotto stuff. She truly makes it so like you don't have to rely solely on Oberon and like brick your DPS, that you can do follow-up damage with face cards. And remember, this power mod, this is depending on when you do it, because you could just do it turn 3 when you're actually going to deal with this. I know in the lottery farming node you do it turn 1, but that's a setup thing. That's how the setup works. Yeah, this being, especially if you do it, you get a 50% power mod on an MP. That you can, if you can get back up to it, you can pop this again. This is more than what Castoria gives for offensive power, along with dropping 20 stars. This is such a good MP for lotteries. And then that's not even the biggest part. If you max out her append, her second append, and this skill, she has a 30% battery along with it 20% append, so you use the lotto CE and she's MPing without help. Or you can use Castoria and then pop this when you need it, because this is star weight for 1 turn. But when you're farming in lotteries and you're using Ibuki, this is 5,000. And this is for all cards, not just buster cards like Ibuki. At least I think Ibuki is buster card only star weight. And it gives 10 stars. This would probably let Ibuki crit the turn that you need it. It's not going to increase the damage, but you're going to get stars. It's just a servant with so much utility. I am like so fucking glad I have this category. When you need her, she is amazing. If you don't need her, don't worry about it. Good. And yeah, so I don't have to remake this. Okay, to finish this off, we have Kashin Koji. I already did a full video on them very recently. Go and watch that. This is gonna be the spark notes. I see her as summer, but quick, mostly because she like can enable her own power mod. She and like regular comma, she does it on MP. Like summer comma, she does it on a skill. She does both. I do think that both the commas could use having, well, not OG comma. She does not need a skill where she charms. No. She doesn't do more damage for it either, so it doesn't matter. Summer comma does need this though. She needs something like this, because like I said in the video, I don't like that summer comma only charms on a skill, and then her power mod is charm. She can only do it once, and it affects her farming. Kashin Koji, this does not, because they might get the power mod just regular farming. They are a permanent servant. They have decent passives, decent skills. The cooldown on this is way too high, and that's like the main complaint, that our cooldowns are like too high. Which is painful for a quick servant. You want them 6 or below, not for like double stacking like Buster, but just so it lines up with Scotty's cooldowns, if you're even staying alive for that long. She technically could. She kind of can stall lock just as well as Kama, and also because it's like bypassing stun immunity, like it kind of can work a little more, because like there are a lot of servants that have mental debuff immunity. I don't think you can have, like, but outside of debuff immunity, I don't think you can have a passive to block being bound. Yeah, okay. We gotta look at the tier list though. I would, if you, yeah, I'm putting her here. She's on the, I think she's not as good as Kichi Hogan. She's not as good as Konshaku. These two definitely stronger quick farmers. Kichi Hogan is free MP5. Konshaku, higher hits, higher refund, I believe. Let's double check though. Gunjo, Konshaku. Barely higher MP gen, but like way more crit synergy. Same hits on MP, less chance to stun, but and also has a power mod, increases quick. For me, it's like it is like the crit damage, while this and like the stun is like a bonus, while for Konshaku, like she needs stun. She needs to stun for it to work. I think Konshaku is just more consistent. Kichi Hogan is free MP5, which how much of a difference does that make? Hyunjo here. Konshaku is here. High, but only because it's assuming you get the bound. Kichi Hogan, 29. Her base damage, without relying on like mods, literally is just barely under Kashin Koji, with like assuming you get the bound. She also insta-kills, which is kind of nice after damage. But yeah, Kichi. If you have Kichi, you're good. You don't need to worry. I think this is good. All right. And with that, this is the tier list update. If you disagree with any of my placements, go to tier list maker, look for me here, and make your own tier list. I try to update these so that every servant is on there, so you guys can make your own. I do low stars in their own separate tier lists. Go watch that stuff if you're interested in my opinion. It's on lower rarity servants. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.
If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like, comment, sub, all that good YouTube stuff. I'm putting this at the end of the video because I'm really bad about selling out mid-video. So, thank you for watching.